What's up, y'all? This your boy Gerald. I just put a video out just a couple seconds ago, and let me turn this down. First of all, how was your weekend going? Going good? Sun's out, the birds is chirping, the bees buzzing, and it's a beautiful day. You know, I'm here to tell you something. I forgot to tell you. And you know, I don't like being the bearer of bad news. Nobody wants to be the bearer of bad news. Nobody wants to be around somebody that bears bad news. I know I don't. But I got a little bad news for you. And that is your victim card. You know that victim card you've been carrying? Well, it's been revoked. Yeah, it has. Nope. Can't carry it around no more. You might be going through a rut right now, and life may seem great. But guess what? All that's going to change. That's right. No more, no longer are the days. And it's time for you to step into who you really are. Now, I know I could easily say, I don't care, everybody's got their own life. We only got one. But then, that wouldn't represent who I am. See, I always believed, as a little child, that you're going to always come into contact with someone in the precise moment, at the right time, to tell you what you need, and never what you want. But it's up to us to embrace that message when it comes. So, with that being said, the days of being a victim are over. It is time that you invest in yourself. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Gerald, that's easier for you to say. You always come on over here and you've got this chipper mood about yourself, and you know, but you're not over here with me, and I gotta go through, you know, I'm dealing with my bills right now, or my money's not right now, or, you know, my man is not acting right, or my car broke, and, you know, and I just can't get it together, and I'm stressing. I need a Calgon moment. Well, guess what? This is life. So it's very important that you have a game plan so that you can navigate it. See, pressures only exist when they have no solution. Did you hear what I said? Pressures will always exist until you have a solution for it. So therefore, you've got to be able to look at it. You've got to be able to have the courage just to look at it, because it's easy for us to always give advice or render some insight when it has nothing to do with us. But guess what? It takes every ounce and fiber to be you. I can't control your breathing. I can't control when you blink your eyes. I can't control your emotional state or what you perceive. These are all orchestrated under your control. So therefore, it's very, very important that you have a position that you're grounded. That's why it's very important to have a spiritual foundation. Your spiritual foundation is your own. Now, granted, there are many interpretations of deities out there, but for myself, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ. And I also know that because I have the faith and trust in him, he makes a way when there is none. So, I'm throwing this out to you now. That victim card that you've been carrying in your wallet, been carrying in your purse, guess what? You might as well go ahead and cut it up, throw it out the window, throw it in the trash, because guess what? From this day forward, you can't use it. You can't cash it in. So guess what? Now's the time that you're going to start to stand up. Now's the time that you're going to lift that head. Now you're going to start to embrace that conviction that's found in your spirit, in your heart. Now is when you actually are going to look at your boundaries. May it be spiritual, may it be emotional, and may it be financial. You say, well, how is that? How are you going to have financial boundaries? Okay, let's break it down like this. If you don't have financial boundaries, every time you get paid, you go and blow it. You blow it on the first thing that emotionally triggers you. You've got a case of the goddess. I gotta have this. I gotta have that. And who's that benefit? It don't benefit you. It don't. Because guess what? It benefits the person that puts it out there. You're the customer. So therefore, you gotta make a conscious decision to come up with a game plan so that your finances can get right. You probably may have some resentment deep down inside. You're not going to admit it because it takes too much courage to do so, that you see everybody else doing everything under the sun. You're like, well, why can't I do that? Why is it that I'm always working? Why is it I can't have fun? I'm going to tell you why. For two reasons. Number one is so that either it's for your edification, or better yet, it's an illusion for you to more or less tune into what they're doing so they can perceive that they're doing something. Because all you know is, hey, you see the effect. You don't know. They may be in a position where they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And all you're doing is working. And all the time you turn around focusing on what the next person's doing, what the next woman's doing. Why are you doing that? If you cannot make an impact that is positive, why are you focusing in somebody else's yard when you need to focus on yours? Come on now. All you know, that could be all just show. Think about it. So, no longer are the days that you're going to play victim. No more. You got to stop that. For those people that are going through challenges with their children, if you're a parent, look at it this way. The philosophy that may have been used when you were a child no longer exists today. So you may have to use a little psychology to convey your message. Or you may have to do the opposite and be a parent. See, that's the problem we have. I know some of y'all mad right now, but it's the truth. A lot of times you see it play out. You have people that want to be the friend, and then when things happen with Billy and Jan and Kimmy and Janice, and they wonder why they're acting that way, because really what they're doing is they're acting out because they want you to be the mother or dad that they need. So they're going to keep trying to do things to get your attention. But all it does is give negative energy. So if anything, put a little bit of empathy in that, put a little compassion in that. Think about how you were when you were their age and do what's right. That may be just the means of speaking your truth. Stop going with the flow. Because guess what? You're a parent first, friend second. Now, for those people that for some reason you think, get this now, You actually have convinced yourself that you're not deserving to be loved. Did you hear me? You have actually convinced yourself that you are not able to be loved. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to always put this out. When you decide to love yourself, you will always make the choice decisions to protect it. Did you hear what I'm saying? Don't trip on the people that don't want to see your worth, that don't want to build you up, that don't have the means to grow. See, what you're feeling is the lack that is from them, and you are embracing it. You're not the one crazy. You're not. You're not. But if you're constantly seeing the cycle play out, and the only thing changes is the environment and the people in it, then guess what? That's you. So be the best friend that you can possibly be to yourself first. And guess what? You know, I had a revelation the other day, excuse me. You know, when we have interactions and connections with people that come in our lives, and then the chapter's closed, or there is a climatic situation from it, you have to go through a period or a process of allowing yourself to purge, or better yet, embrace just take the second to invest in yourself to heal. You say, why, Gerald? I just keep it moving. Every time you make a decision, a sound decision to keep it moving, guess what? You've also made a decision to keep it continuing on. The problem. And being that our connections, there is a common denominator, may it be you and them, or your environment and you, it will continue to exist and manifest itself until you do the work. If you don't look at me, if you don't believe me, excuse me, look at society. Just look at the celebrities. You see them going through relationships like changing shoes. Well, guess what? The same thing plays out. It plays out. And what happens? The work takes a beating. They go through a period of rebellion until they're willing to do the work. And you always see that person humble on the backside saying, if I only knew what I knew now. Well, guess what? Maybe that process or that interaction was the motivation to bring you to that point so you could reflect on where you've been. So guess what? Once again, that victim card you got don't work no more. It don't work. Don't even try to look at the PIN number, because the PIN number don't work. Actually, the card don't work because it expired. It's time for you to get a new card, and it's filled with love, respect, purpose, and validation. And be the person that you are destined to be. Stop tripping on the things you have no control over. Be grateful. Because guess what? You know how they use the term, every gray sky has a silver lining in it? Well, really all they're saying is, for every bad experience you have, there's a lesson in it. There's always something. That's why you always hear people say, for every setback there is a set up. But you will never be able to claim that set up until you claim yourself first. That is why I tell you, my kings and queens, stop going out into the world looking for someone to validate your state of mind in the present. Talk about synchronicity. we know you ain't that, right?
I'll do anything if you want me to.
I'm your puppet. Come on now. Pull your own strings. Because that's what, when you pull your own strings, you're embracing the directions the strings are being pulled. And shouldn't it be in a place of harmony? Shouldn't it be in a place of love? Shouldn't it be in a place of empathy? Shouldn't it be in a place of protection? You got to love yourself. That means you got to do the work. Stop looking for Mr. Right. Stop looking for him. Because all you're going to attract is Mr. Right now. Stop looking for Miss... Come on now. You do understand that... You do understand that every time you take a step that will not benefit you purely, there's a lesson to remind you. Think of it like this. Your life is like when you were a child and you had those training wheels on, and every time you wobbled, you had those training wheels to keep you on balance, to keep you on flow, till you had enough faith to ride without them. Well, that's what your higher power is for. Those training wheels are nothing but your spirit guides and your angels. That's what they are. You have to build the faith in yourself to persevere. That's what validates your self-worth and self-esteem. No more victim card. No. You're going to have a beautiful summer coming up. You're supposed to claim it, even if that means by yourself. What's wrong with that? Don't you realize every time that you make a time to invest in yourself, you get more things done when you're in amongst the masses? Some of you right now thinking, well, you know what, Gerald, I've always wanted to do this project right here, but I don't have enough time. You can make time. You make time to pick that phone up, right? Your life should be the same way. Make sure that everything that you decide to do and desire to do, it is fruitful. Because anything that is fruitful, it respects the process. And you deserve it. You deserve it. So stop allowing people that only have negative influence to distract you. Stop saying, why me? Say, why not? Start loving yourself. And watch the doors that your higher power will open up. Okay? I mean, now I can laugh. I can truly laugh. Because, you know, everybody has the best intentions, I really believe. But it's how it is manifested in our lives and put out into the world, your reality. Because whatever is found in your heart is your reality. That's why it's best to respect yourself. Because if you're not respecting yourself, your reality is not going to respect you. That's how it works. That's universal law of attraction. So whatever you put out, you're going to get back. You can't run from it because it's your life. It comes with it. So that's why it's very important to make sure that your steps are guided humbly, with compassion, with love, with empathy. That's why the Bible says to love thy neighbor. Treat thy neighbor as if you treat thyself. Energy out is energy in. So, when the setbacks come, have courage. Dig deep. Allow yourself time to process and heal. Because you know when you heal, things that were inflicted become renewed. For example, how many times when you out there, you got a yard, you got to cut the grass, and you got little bald spots and stuff, and like every time you turn around and try to do something else, though, it just does not benefit. But then when you turn around and take the effects of you cutting that yard and you putting those clippings in that spot, slowly but surely, it regenerates. Why? It's the cultivation. It's the process. It's time. And that's why they always say time heals all wounds. But when wounds are healed, if you do not learn where you once been, unfortunately, it is very easy to return back to it. So make sure that your actions and whatever's found in your heart truly exemplifies who you are. You are worth it. You are priceless, and you are loved. Okay? Alright. I just wanted to put that out there. I know somebody was like, I got this feeling somebody's going through a silent depression. Like, well, you know, I'm just going to put this mask on and everything is great. And then you turn around, go through your whole day like you one thing, only to go home behind closed doors and end up crying your nights out. Why? Why? Now it's time that you be the real you. Let your higher power guide your steps. And trust when I say this to you. All things that are meant for you to have will come and pass in the right and appropriate time. This is what exemplifies its worth. It's what shows you what is not. Okay? It's going to be fun. Think about all the things you're going to accomplish this summer. And guess what? The people and the tools needed for them to come to pass will be there. The purer you become, the purer your outcome will be. But before I wrap this up, please, when I say this, the devil's work is never done. And those things that are insecurities and fears, he will use that to sway you. Because he does not want you to come into your own. He doesn't want that. He can't afford that. Because he also knows he does his best work when you're not balanced. That is why people tend to come into your life and you're like, we have nothing to talk about, but why are you here? Because there's fear. When there's always some type of conflict and there's no solution. Why? That's the devil. And yes, my queens, each and every time you take it upon yourself to compromise yourself emotionally, physically, or financially, guess what? That's the devil supplying you the end result. Oh, you want to go find him? He's going to bring you a nice, handsome dude that might be chief loving man, but unfortunately, he don't love himself, so guess what? He will never love you. And until you want to get up that merry-go-round called illusion, can you then see your worth? Stop doing that. Stop doing that. I'm telling you, the man that is destined to come into your life will be a spiritually grounded man. Respect the process. Let your higher power guide your steps to him. And watch your reality be revealed. You're worth it, y'all. Time to throw that victim card out. You're not a victim, you're a victor. So, as I always say, God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, you better believe it. It helps me discern mine. You enjoy your weekend, stay blessed, stay protected, and sidestep that foolishness. Sidestep it. Put your energy where it needs to be. And it should be under the cultivation and value of who you really are. It's time to claim it, y'all. Don't be afraid. Claim. Be blessed, y'all.